welcome back to my 37th YouTube video on my YouTube channel. Yay! I am Hawkinsimmer, and today we are playing with the brand new stuff pack, Paranormal Stuff. How exciting. Yay. Okay, so everything's complicated. So I pre-filmed a bunch of videos, and because I always say what number video it is, I had to shift around all the videos so that I could upload this one today, because I don't want to wait a couple weeks to get out this content because it's relevant right now and people, want to see if this pack is worth it. Not that, anyone watching this, my husband, really cares, but someone might stumble across this video and use it as a reference. So in the coming weeks, there will be videos where I talk about this pack, but it's because I filmed those videos before I got this pack. And in one of those videos, I specifically said I never buy Sims content before it goes on sale. And I absolutely broke that for this pack. I watched the live stream last week. I watched all the Game Changer videos, and I had to have it. I absolutely had to have this pack. It looked so great. And I pretty well firmly stand by feeling that it is pretty great. So this video is base game and paranormal stuff exclusively, except for the fence around the front. I don't know why there isn't a wrought iron fence in the base game, but there isn't. So I used this one from Get Together, but it's not like you absolutely have to have this front fence, and it doesn't have to be this one. So, if you download this from the gallery, it's not like it'll totally change the game, but everything interior and backyard, landscaping, all of it is all just base game and paranormal. So I watched a live stream, and it's obvious that this pack has a lot of Queen Anne, French colonial, and specifically New Orleans kind of vibes to it. I have been to New Orleans twice. I have been there. It is gorgeous. I don't know everything there is to know about it, and I don't know everything there is to know about the architectural style, but I do know a little bit, and I have been there before, so I have seen tons of homes just like this one, and I actually stayed in an Airbnb in a home like this one. It was awesome. It was amazing. So I just kind of went with what I know of New Orleans, what I've seen there, and kind of ran with it. I'm building this in the Realm of Magic world, though. And that's just because, I don't know, I just wanted to feel a little spooky. But in reality, in New Orleans, most of these homes are on very long and skinny lots, and they're pretty well right up against each other. There's still room in between them, but overall the lots are really skinny, and they pretty well touch, so there's not tons of room. And the one that we stayed in, it was part of a row, so there were no breaks in between all of these houses. But if you were to separate it, the house itself would have been sort of L-shaped, and then there was a courtyard that fit in the negative space of the L. So sort of similar to how I did it, but obviously the courtyard sits more to the side of the house. But it was a really cool place. The front of the house was a hostel, which is, if you don't know, just kind of communal traveling, visiting, staying. So lots of people might share the same bedroom and the same bathroom and same common spaces. And then they had converted the back of the house into a single rental, I guess. So we went through the main entrance of the hostel and then out the courtyard through another door, a private entrance into our studio style Airbnb. It was a really cool stay. It was really close to, it was in the French Quarter and really close to Jackson Square and the main kind of touristy part of New Orleans, but it was farther east, so it's closer to Frenchman Street, which is a really kind of up and coming, more low key area than the Bourbon Street kind of stuff. So the first time I went with my very dearest friend in the whole wide world, and my mom last minute was like, "Oh my God, can I please come with you? Get me out of this house." So We let my mom come. She was great. My mom is super fun, so it wasn't like a huge big deal. We initially went because we wanted to go to a concert for our favorite band, and we planned a whole trip around a concert for the Dirty Heads, which is like one of our favorite bands, and we've now seen them many, many times. But we went all the way to New Orleans, which is like 13 hours from where we currently live. But it was a really great trip. I had always wanted to go, and so did my friend. So it was really fun to experience that together. And then a few years later, my husband and I went to New Orleans, and we got engaged there at the New Orleans Museum of Art and Sculpture Garden. And it's like my favorite place in the whole wide world. It was gorgeous. It was amazing. It was a really good trip. Good food, good sightseeing, a lot of history, good and bad. So if you ever get the chance to go to New Orleans, I would definitely encourage it. It's beautiful, and it's still trying to always bounce back from Katrina, and I don't know, it's just a really interesting place with a lot of culture. So I would totally recommend it. But that's kind of my history with what I understand of New Orleans. I'm absolutely not an expert. Spent 2 weeks there out of my entire life. So, I'm not an expert, but I did have some, like little fun facts about New Orleans. Like, for example, in the Garden District, where you would see nice, huge, like $1 million homes like this, there are no doors out to these like kind of staple front patios and porches and balconies. And it has to do with like the taxing in that area. And back in the day, if you had like X amount of doors, then your taxes would go up. So instead of putting doors in, they would just put these like floor to ceiling windows, and then you could just open a window to go out. So that's kind of a fun fact. Our Sims don't have that option, so I did put doors to the balcony and the front porch, but it would have been cool, to kind of honor that. And these base game windows. I hate that the trim on the inside is blue, but they have the hurricane shutters, or what look like hurricane shutters, which obviously almost all, if not all, of the windows in New Orleans have hurricane shutters, and that's just because they obviously deal with that type of natural disaster pretty often. So the only rooms I think that don't have the shutters is just the dining room and the seance room upstairs, and that's just it just wasn't gonna fit on the little bump out that I have. So luckily, our Sims don't have to worry about hurricanes, so it really doesn't matter to them. But just from like an architecturally, driven spot, there would be, I guess. The Airbnb that my husband and I stayed at actually had original French doors and original windows with the hurricane shutters. So that was really cool. They were really old. There was a huge disclaimer in the rental agreement that was like, you have to be gentle. Please do not yank on these doors, and please shut them very carefully because they are authentic. So that was pretty cool. When you stay in Airbnbs, you get to have, those kinds of historical things that you get to kind of be a part of and see up close. So that's kind of neat. But enough about what I know about New Orleans. That's kind of it, I think. If there's something else that pops up in terms of like home decor and things, I could let you know, but I probably don't know much more. But anyway, so this pack, it's good. It's super good. It has tons of items. When you compare this pack to other stuff packs, yikes. Like Vintage Glamour or like the party one. Yikes. This has a ton of new content. It has good build buy options. I would say it has really decent amount of, cast items, but I would say overall the build buy is really where this shines. Not to mention there's a new career, and I think you can purchase with like points or whatever a new trait maybe, but it's only like purchasable, I think. And it's like the brave trait or something. But you have a whole new career. There's a ton of gameplay options. Even if you don't want to do the career, you can still hold seances. And let's not forget that Bone Hilda is back. So excited, especially for Plumbella, who has obviously been, pretty vocal about some justice for Bonehilda. So excited to see that back. As you know, I'm a long-term Sims player, so I am familiar with Bonehilda, and I'm super stoked to see that kind of nostalgic thing come back for us. On top of Bonehilda and all the good items, like I said, there's a seance table, and it's really more than just, you can sit down and have a seance. There's ways to totally change the game. This seems like it's more along the lines of what Strangerville had to offer us, but I would say even more in depth, because there's not an ending. There's not like a here you are, it's done and over. Of course, with a career, you can max out your career and reach level 10 and what have you. Or actually, I think it might be level 5 is where it maxes out. I can't remember. Or no, the skill maxes out at 5. My bad. But there's so many ways, it seems, to achieve that, because you can become a freelance, ghost hunter or whatever, but you don't have to get that skill and to do the gameplay. And then if there's like a little hand, and if you use the hand, you can change the difficulty of the game. Basically, you can make it so there are more spirits and fewer spirits. So that's kind of cool. And I think a lot of people have asked for that type of customization. So the ability to do that changes each player's game pretty significantly, I would say. It's not that people won't have the same experiences, but you can have different variations of the same experiences, I guess. I haven't played with the career, and I haven't actually done any gameplay with it, but from what I've watched of other people, that's kind of where I see it, I guess. I do plan to do another video featuring this pack, maybe with a couple of other packs. I think that this pack sits really nicely with all things from Strangerville. I think that they complement each other really well. This seems to fit right in with a lot of packs that we have. I would say for sure Strangerville, Realm of Magic, vampires, and movie hangout stuff. I think this kind of fits in with that kitschy kind of theme, I guess. So overall, I would say this pack is totally worth $10. If you compared this to the first game pack, Outdoor Retreat, I would say that this has just as much, if not more, to offer, and is better quality items and like gameplay stuff. However, like I said, the items that are in this pack are great. Across the board, good items. My only complaint at this point would be that all of the items have lots of swatches, and all of them include a black and a white swatch, which is amazing. But the items that would be made out of wood, the end table, the coffee table, the hutch, the desk, those items do not have natural wood swatches, which is frustrating. Of the 12 swatches, all but 2 of them are colorful and bright, which I don't mind to have. I think the colors that they chose fit well with other packs that we have, but I feel overall that a few natural wood tones would have been really nice. They don't translate well for homes that are not a little eclectic. You can definitely make a couple of these items work, but I would say that if this is your only pack, there's a clear theme and all of your houses will have the same kind of aesthetic to it. But like I said, that's kind of a small complaint when you're talking about the stuff packs that we have. So I think this is totally worth $10. I would say that this is worth definitely what things like Outdoor Retreat are worth. Like, I wouldn't say it's worth $20, but I would say that Outdoor Retreat also isn't worth $20. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that this is a great pack, even if you're not into the gameplay. I never play occult style, so I mean this from a personal level, that like this just has really good items. So that's kind of my firsthand review. Like I said, I plan to have another build out after this one, and I might have more thoughts then, but I have a feeling that I already have a pretty good idea of how I feel about this pack. So that's kind of where I'm at. And perfect timing because right here I'm just finishing up the little seance room. I thought this was so cute. The wallpaper made it so moody and amazing. I absolutely loved this little room. It looks totally spooky. But yeah, that's kind of the last part of the video. So I just want to say thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I upload new videos every Monday and Thursday at around 4 p.m. So I will see you all in the next one. Bye! Can't believe how good this pack is. EA, why? Why have you waited so long to do this?